looks pretty dramatic.
Sam, do you have to get special permission to land at these places, or check with authorities, or just
We have to follow the site guide. We just need to abide by the specific site rules.
So do you log it with one central?
We log it
authority?
so for some things we log it to multiple places. So like where we went this
Okay.
morning, we'll let the British Antarctic Trust know that we went to that base and that it looked like it was in good condition, because obviously they don't get to visit it very often.
Bomb Range Point on Porquaw Paw Island. None of us have ever been here before. Totally exploratory and super radical. Amazing example of a glacier there. That lateral moraine is the most lateral moraine I've ever seen. And Ian is so excited, he might have to clean himself up after this.
Territorial. We don't know what their territories are, but they do. If you enter the territory, they will defend it and charge you. Okay, this is not their breeding season, so most likely it will be a false charge. But you do not run away. You do not turn your back to them. Stand your ground. But it could be as low as 100.
Glacier. Cat's Glacier. I would take this glacier home.
If you can get it there, you can have it.
23 kilos of load. Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah. Otherwise, I would take it home, you know?
You okay with an extra 8 if I bring him up?
So these slopes of boulders are talus slopes. These rocks, the bedrock freeze-thaw processes during winter, ice getting into the cracks and then expanding, causes these rockfall or talus slopes. But at the base of them here, 6,000 years ago, is the shoreline. Because during the glacial we had about 1 kilometre of ice over the top of us here. And if you look up at the glacier over there, which we call a tidewater glacier, because the front of it is floating, if you imagine 1,000 metres of ice sitting on that, it's going to be way up the side of that mountain. So that gives you an idea of, you know, the massive ice that was in here at the height of the glacier. We're actually standing on the second lateral moraine. The outermost is this one over here. We're standing on the second one, and here's the current one that's forming. So these represent the former extent of this glacier. So not only was it wider, but it was thicker. And currently, and you can see these lines within the glacier. They're actually the shear plains where basically the margins here of these glaciers that are on land, they're frozen to the bed at the base.
Yeah.
And they're moving faster at the top, but through shear. So there's so basically layers of ice that are actually shearing over the top of each other. Around the continent, that I think this outermost one is about 2,500 years ago. 2,500 years ago, and it was fueled by an increase in precipitation. So a change in the position of the low pressure systems. They're tracking further south here, dumping more snow. But what's really important, very mild summers. Yeah. We don't have melt here because we're too far south. The way the glaciers lose mass from where they're grounded like this is through a process called sublimation. It goes straight from ice to water vapour.
So it's like evaporation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so we're losing, and that's what gives it, you know, you might have seen photos of Kilimanjaro. It looks just like this, where the whole surface becomes kind of smooth in this zone through the sublimation. But you know, a glacier moves, like you can actually see as the glacier, up at the neve where the snow accumulates, all the motion is downwards. So you've got 6 metres of snow falling a year, forming snowpack, and then that condenses to form firn, the air's getting squeezed out, and then eventually it becomes ice, where all the actual pores are actually totally closed off. And that holds the air content composition at the time of close off. So when we drill ice cores in the middle of Antarctica, when we examine those air bubbles, that's actually telling us something about the gas composition of the atmosphere at the moment those bubbles close. Gotta go with the flow, Gary. Every day. I agree.
Whoa! Nice.
Oh,
Now that's nearly a breach.
tail sniffing.
Tail lobbing.
What does that mean, Bill?
That is probably communication. You'll see the slapping of the tail or neck slapping.
Telling them that the people around the place?
Yep.
Is it
A warning?
the others that there's
No, I think these two.
It's what Rami does instead of going to the gym.
To remind you about what we call drake proofing, even though this is not the Drake Passage. We are here out in the open ocean getting some of these swells that are coming in. And we do expect the wind to increase maybe as high as 25, possibly 40 knots, who knows, we'll see. So the rocking and rolling may pick up a little bit throughout the day. So if you need to take care of yourself with some sort of prophylaxis, the patch, the pill, the lotion, or whatever it was you guys had.
In areas with lots of seabirds, both in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, there is a risk that the two will meet. And that's happened yesterday, or the day before. We had 3 snow petrels on the foredeck. And luckily the snow petrels were absolutely fine and they were released and carried on their way. Unfortunately last night we had another visitor, a southern fulmar, and the end was not quite as good. And even Dr. Matt would, I think, struggle to bring this poor little thing back to life. The good news is that southern fulmars are not at all rare, so it's not as though we're doing any real damage to the population. And I'm also pretty sure that this little critter met a very quick end. That this is not a species that often is attracted to the lights of ships. And in this case, I found the bird upside down. I think he probably clouted one of the antennas upstairs and then fell down. I think it was all over quickly. Anyway.
Just have hit the deck or
I think he's most likely hit one of the antennae, I would imagine. Because normally this species doesn't get attracted to lights. You sometimes, around South Georgia especially, you get birds that come into the lights and you find them in the morning around the ship. I've seen it on research ships, hundreds, sometimes thousands.
Oh, really?
But this species is not one that normally gets attracted. So I think he's walloped something. And he was laying upside down, that's the other thing. So I think he came down with a hell of a wallop.